In this episode, we report from AnimeNEXT and PortConMaine, and then we turn the attendees against each other. And we bring you the latest news and upcoming conventions. I'm Doug, and this is the AnimeCons podcast for July 2010.
Here are the latest announcements for the anime conventions in the Midwest. DaishoCon has announced its guest lineup for their November convention. Spike Spencer, Richard Epgar, Doug Walker, Louis Lovehog, Pat Rothfuss, Scott Lynch, and Arashi Taikodan. Anime Crossroads in Indianapolis has announced that Troy Baker, David Williams, and Bob and Emily DeJesus will be guests of honor. If you're near Toledo, Gar Ashu no Shikan has announced guests Robert Axelrod, Cassandra Hodges, Julie Jensen, The Manpower, Carrie Porter, Gavin Goska, and Alex Heberling. In the Northeast, the Soho Gallery for Digital Art in New York City has announced AnimeNECon Soho, featuring programming such as live music, a Victorian tea party, cosplay reception, presentation from their guest, Misako Rocks. New York Anime Festival, which is now part of New York Comic Con, has announced that Vamps will be performing at the convention. ZenkaiCon has announced guests Vic Mignogna and game show host Grego for their convention next March. Moving down south, Otakon has announced the following guests: Kennen of N-Cafe, Yoshiiki and Sugizo of X Japan, Takamasa Sokori, Christopher Bevins, J. Michael Tatum, Todd Habercorn, Clarine Harp, and Patrick Seitz. NekoCon has announced guest lecturer Akemi Soloway, along with voice actress Christina V and webcomic artist Garth Graham. SonyCon has announced Sonic the Hedgehog related guests Jason Griffith, Mike Pollock, Pete Capella, and Lisa Ortiz, along with musical performers Al's Dead, Ruskika, Descendants of Erdrick, and Happy Project. Greg Ayers, Michael Sinternicholas, and Micah Solusud will make their first appearance at Sans Japan and San Antonio. Out west, Anime Expo has announced the following guests: voice actors Masakazu Morita, Yui Horii, and Iri Kitamura, and music performers RSP and Benny. OtakuCon will be held at Spokane, Washington this month with guests including voice actor David Trusco. This convention is completely unrelated to the ill-fated OtakuCon Miami Beach of 2004. And finally, in Canada, Icon has announced that KLH will be returning to perform at the convention this year. They will be joined by Mode 7, a band from Winnipeg. For more information of these announcements and all the latest updates, please visit our site at animecons.com.
So recently I made my third trip to AnimeNEXT. I was at AnimeNEXT 2003 in Rye Brook, New York at an MC Escher type hotel. And then I returned to AnimeNEXT when it was in Secaucus, New Jersey a couple of years ago. But this is my third trip, and now it's in the Garden State Exposition Center in Somerset, New Jersey. And it's maybe 45 minutes south of New York. Now, this was my favorite AnimeNEXT so far, and dare I say my favorite convention that I've been to in quite a while, excluding those that I staff. The thing that did it for me was the attendees were so well behaved. I couldn't believe it. At a lot of conventions I've gone to recently, there's been chanting, there's been talk about losing the game, and just all sorts of annoying stuff. People screaming Marco Polo. None of that at AnimeNEXT. I think I heard one person call out Marco, and nobody replied. There was like 2 people screaming butt scratcher, but all in all, it was so amazing to get away from that. It reminded me of conventions from like 2004, where none of that stuff existed, and the worst you'd ever hear was people chanting chair during the masquerade. Now speaking of the masquerade, I was also amazed. There was a Hetalia skit. There were a bunch of Hetalia skits, but there was one that ended up winning Best in Show that blew me away.
Everyone's just a little bit racist.
AnimeNEXT has a lot of the standard convention fare. I mean, they've got the guest panels.
I would encourage you, there is a group called Anime Fans Against Bootleg. It's run by a lady named Emily Krinkle. She's actually a vendor. She works for a company called Eagle Anime. And she's, just like me with fan subbing and all that stuff, she's made it her business to become aware of things to look for in bootleg plush merchandise. She sells
They've got the Masquerade, the dealer's room. But one unique thing they offered was a dunk tank. And for $1, you could dunk one of the convention guests, or for $5, just go up and hit the thing and make them dunk. And all the proceeds went to Haiti relief. So that was very nice. But all in all, I had a really good time at AnimeNEXT, and I'm looking forward to going back again.
So Shiv and I got back from PortConMaine yesterday. This was both of us our 4th year attending.
Yep.
Even though we unfortunately didn't know each other the first year.
Whoops.
Oh well. PortConMaine is a small convention up in Portland, Maine, except it's kind of growing. They hit over 2,000 people this year, and it's at the Wyndham Portland Airport right across from the main mall, so lots of good places to go get food and stuff. And the only big problem with the con is it's too small for its location, except there's really nowhere else to go in Maine.
It's too big for its location.
Too big.
Yeah, it's kind of crowded in the hallways, especially in some of the rooms. Their setup is their hotel is circular. It's kind of bizarre 70s architecture. It looks like a spaceship on it. But because of the way it's designed, it's just you get very tight hallways, and it's hard to maneuver, but it's a lot of fun.
And when people form lines with hug me signs and high five signs, it causes bottlenecks. But they do a good job with the space. The con staff does a really good job. A lot of good events. A lot
Security
of fun,
is really
different
nice,
events.
sure.
Well, Jenny's panel.
She ran a 1980s, 1990s like PBS panel, which is really great for people our age because it was very nostalgic. So that was nice. They also have a boffing tournament there, which is unique to that convention.
Yeah. They do branch out a little bit past the anime to kind of but it's mostly anime.
Yeah, in the cosplay competition, you can enter original designs. You can do, there were some Disney cartoon characters this year. There were some science fiction characters, so that was really interesting.
And the last skit was really, really funny.
Yeah, it was something
really funny.
Let's hop me into this. Hand over the scythe.
I can't help it. I am a weapon.
Fine. I'll have to peace bind you then.
Oh, did I win?
Are you carrying weapons? Where were you even keeping it? What could you possibly still have? Where do they get these people? All right, hand over any weapons. Oh, not again. How many do you have?
Overall, it's a really good con. If you're in New England, you should definitely go and check it out some year. If you're not from New England and you happen to find yourself in wanting to go up to Maine, working around PortCon.
It's casual, it's laid back. It's a good time.
We're putting AnimeNEXT
up against PortConMaine
to see who has the smarter attendees.
This is Versus.
The Real Folk Blues is the closing theme to what series?
I don't know.
Try again.
Oh, I'm totally drawing a blank. That would be a 0 for me.
I'll just say Inuyasha for right now.
That's an old one.
Yu Yu Hakusho?
Not Cyborg 009. It's
Cowboy Bebop.
Innocence is the sequel to what 1995 anime?
I could not tell you that.
Sorry.
Sailor Moon.
Ghost in the Shell?
Ghost in the Shell.
Great.
Wow.
Yes. Good job. By attendance, what is the largest anime convention in America?
In California, I should know this. The one in California. It's huge. I don't know.
I'm sorry, man. I'm not from here, so I wouldn't know.
Anime Boston's the third largest. It's San Diego.
I think it's the Boston ones. I can't remember because I don't know.
San Francisco. I know it's in San Francisco. It's
I'm gonna say Akon.
I want to say Anime North, but I don't
the
know.
largest one I know is Otakon, but I know it's not that one, but I'm gonna guess Otakon.
Is it Otakon?
Anime Expo?
Anime Expo. In what anime series do you hear the quote, "Will you bear my child"?
All of them.
I want to say Fruits Basket, but I know that's wrong.
Oh goodness, I know this too. Inuyasha.
Inuyasha.
Inuyasha. That's Inuyasha.
That's Inuyasha.
Including this year, how many years has this convention been running?
I came in 2006, so I'll guess 8 years.
15?
4 or 5?
I think it's 6.
It is 9. 9.
9.
9. Do you know who the leader of the SOS Brigade is?
No.
Who is the leader of the SOS Brigade?
SOS Brigade? I can't even think because I don't know.
No clue.
The SOS Brigade, isn't that Haruhi?
Haruhi Suzumiya.
Haruhi Suzumiya.
Haruhi Suzumiya.
Oh, Haruhi.
Who are the two main characters in Chrono Crusade?
Chrono and what? I'm trying to think of her name.
I don't know.
Nah, I haven't played that game.
It's actually an anime.
Oh yeah. It's not Chrono. Who's in Chrono Trigger?
Steve and Jekka.
We'll also accept Steve as an answer.
No, I know that one, and I can't think of it right now. I can think of Steve.
Oh my god. That would be Chrono and Rosette, and yes, I would say that. I was gonna say Vic Mignogna's hair, but I know better.
Name the main 5 pilots for the Gundam Wing series.
Oh, Gundam Wing.
I can't.
Sorry.
I don't watch that show. I don't watch it either. I'm sorry.
I don't do Gundam Wing. I can do Gundam 00.
There was Groucho, there was Chico, there was Harpo, and there was Mo.
Is that 4?
And Carl.
Sure. How about Gensikin and let's see, a girl name like Yuri, and then just toss together a bunch of syllables from foods like Kayobasa and wasabi.
There was a Chinese guy. He had the pigtail.
Hiro Yui, Dual Maxwell, and let's see.
Here were Yui, Duo Maxwell, Troll Barton, Wu Fei Chang, and Catcher Winner.
Someone got them all.
I knew them all too, but he's a bigger fan, so I'll let him take it.
I know, right?
You can follow us at these links here, here, and here. You can always get the latest episode as soon as it's out by subscribing on iTunes. On Wednesday, July 14th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, we'll be doing a live broadcast from our studio to talk about convention stories. Come join us in the chat room while watching our live video feed. For more information, visit live.animecons.com. And watch next month's episode when we'll be bringing you our report from Kineticon 2010.
One last question. Do you know who Patrick D is?
I've heard the name.
It sounds familiar, but I can't put what it is to.
I can't place it.
Any genre of people you might think of?
A little bit of sci-fi, but beyond that, no.
Yes, he is very short and very fat.
He's a voice actor, right?
We like that answer.
He runs AnimeCons.com.
Yeah.
Did he run the Anime Unscripted at Anime Boston?
Yes, and he runs the Chibi Project. Yeah. All right, we get some fans. All right, thanks so much, guys.
The first time I saw Patrick Delahanty was at MikaCon. I don't know if he was even doing the Chibi project then. And so we walk into MikaCon. I said, people will be costuming. No, I'm shy. I don't want to do it the first day. We walk in the door, and there's a grand staircase in the hotel, and Optimus Prime is walking down the stairs. And I said, so no costumes, huh? And that was Patrick.